Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu. I bear witness that there is no God but God, and no partner has it. I greet everybody with the universal greetings of Assalamu alaikum. Praise be to God. Inshallah, I'm asking God to guide me as He has been guiding us since we sit down here, right? Get me down from here, we will sit down, right? So, my Lord, I seek refuge in you from the suggestions of the devil. To my Lord, I seek refuge in you from the enemy. I'm going to read, inshallah. Oh, the title of the khutbah, God willing, is Wake Up. Look at life around you. Wake up. Look at life around you. I'm going to ask God to allow me just to be straightforward. I'm going to read from Surah 17, Children of Israel. I'm starting with ayat 44, and inshallah I'm going to read from 44 to 111. Glorifying Him of the 7 universes, the earth and everyone in them. There is nothing that does not glorify Him, but you do not understand their glorification. He is clement, forgiver. When you read the Quran, we place between you and those who do not believe in the hereafter an invisible barrier. We place shields around their minds to prevent them from understanding it, and deafness in their ears. And when you preach your Lord, and when you preach your Lord using the Quran alone, they run away in aversion. We are fully aware of what they hear when they listen to it, and when they conspire secretly. The disbelievers say, you are following a crazy man. Note how they describe you and how this causes them to stray off the path. They busy talking about you, worrying about you, right? And they not even on the path, right? Ain't that something? Yes. Right? Yes. Right? Mm-hmm. They said after we turn into bones and fragments, we get resurrected anew. It didn't say again, it says anew. Right? Look at that word anew. That means that the you that you know now ain't going to be the you that's going to be raised then. It's going to be a new you. A new you. Right? Because it says we get resurrected anew. That means a change is going to happen. Something different is going to come about. Say, even if you turn into rocks or iron, even if you turn into any kind of creation that you deem impossible, they will then say, who will bring us back? Say, the one who created you in the first place. They will then shake their heads and say, when will that be? Say, it may be closer than you think. The day He summons you, you will respond by praising Him. Alhamdulillah. God be glorified, MashaAllah, right? Allahu Kabir, Allahu Akbar, right? All those beautiful praises that we do while we're down in this earth, because we're being conscious of what we got to do, so when we go back to God, our conscience announcements while we was down here. So when we go back there, we're going to say, praise be to God. Right? This is what God is telling us we're going to do. Right? Right? So, as I may mention in other certain quick bars, there's a reason for everything that we're doing in submission. There's a reason. We building the foundation. We building the happy home. We're building our mansions while we're in this earth. Think about that. Right? Because your actions, right, will build your mansion in the hereafter. Right? And you're going to get some of them mansions while you're here. The inner mansion, the inner river, the inner shade, the inner garden. Right? Because before it can manifest outside, it must manifest inside. Gary, please turn around and sit up, please. Thank you. Right? So it has to manifest inside first. When you get an idea, right? Right? You be like, oh, I got to write that down. Right? I don't want to forget that. Especially if it's an idea where it's going to bring about some progression. Right? Make you a better person. Put some extra money in your pocket. Right? Right? Got to write that down. Right? I got to read that again. That's powerful. I'm sorry, 1752, we embody Israel, the children of Israel. And the title of the sermon is called Wake Up and Look at Life Around You. Yes. Check you out. Check yourself out. Check into you. Because when you check into you, then you can check into others. You can't check into others until you check into you first. That's right. So that way, when you check into you, then you'll know when others are worthy of being in your company. Because we had a conversation earlier before we came. I ain't got to mention no names. That's right. Check into you. Because each time you check into you, inshallah, you will know what to do by checking into you and relying on God alone. Because God will give us the plan. God has given us the plan. We got the plan. God has given you the plan so you can plan. Right? Think about that. I got to read that again. 1752. The day he summons you, you will respond by praising him. That's a beautiful thing to know that we're going to do that because we're doing it now. So whatever you're doing now, right, to build your soul power, you will be doing that when God raises you. Praising God. Because that's when you're going to know that everything you've been reading in the book is the truth. And you're going to say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Kabir, thank you, God. This is the truth. Everything I've been reading, all the sacrifices I've been making, finally, they're manifested right before my eyes. Right? And some of that manifestation will manifest before your eyes right in this moment of now. And this is how you will be able to connect the dots to here and now and then and hereafter. Right? Because the signs have been elevating your mind. Right? And bringing you to life. Right? Making you more alive than you've ever been and felt in your entire life because your spirit feels good about what it is you're doing. Right? Because you're doing it for you. Right? And when you do it for you, then you do it for us and we do it for we. That's where you get community. will respond by praising him, and you will then realize that you had lasted in this life for a short while. Because I know that somewhere in the Quran, I can't remember what God says, what a day is to him, right? God explains that God's day and our day is two totally different days, right? Right? So, this is the beauty of Quran. There is no contradiction, right? And if you just sit still, you will get the answer. You will get the answer. Now let's look at Salah. When you make those different postures, it's a form of stilling your body, your mind, and your spirit to reflect. That's the power of Salah. If you really look at the prayer, and if you are observing yourself as you pray, and then observing the feelings that you feel after you finish praying. Because if you're making a strong salah, you're going to come out strong. If you're making a weak salah, you're going to come out weak. It's a process. This is why some of us leave and don't stay. Somewhere along the line, there's a weakness in the what? The iman, the faith, right? And it's not about knocking and bashing. It's about wake up, right? Look at life around you. See what's happening around you, and when we begin to see what's really happening, then we can make the serious choice of, do we want to be there or do we want to be here? Right? Do we want to be down or do we want to be up? Do we want to be sad or do we want to be happy? This is a happy moment. Every Juma, right, is a happy moment for us. Every chance that we allowed to breathe and do the good things that have been pointed out to us, those are happy times. So if you're feeling sad and whatever you're feeling, get closer to your Creator. That's all. Get closer to the Creator. And God will guide your ship. God will guide your ship, and a lot of those hardships, they won't be as hard because you got God, the Creator, the Lord of the universe. Because with everything that's going on now in the world, listen, we already see the money ain't helping, the weaponry ain't helping, everything, the hoarding is not helping, right? Right? And let's go back to the Quran when they said, when will the help of God come? Surely the help of God is near. Right? So, that is the strongest reality for us in this path, is holding on to our Creator. Yeah. Because the king of chaos is busy out there. So we have a shield from the Creator to shield us from all that stuff. But not just that. When stuff happens, we can reflect back to the book. We can reflect back on what God has taught us, because God teaches us, and we'll understand the dynamics of everything that's going on. Because God already pre-warned us. Just like he's saying right here, the day he summons you, you will respond by praising him, and you will then realize, check that out, you will then realize. So that means a higher consciousness of awakening is going to happen also. You're going to realize, whoa, that you have lasted in this life for a short while. Tell my servants to treat each other in the best possible manner. That's God talking. That ain't me talking. Because God knows that sometimes we're going to get upset, we're going to get angry, we're going to feel certain ways about certain situations and people, and we're going to have some grudges and gripes and some trauma and drama and all that stuff. But God says, tell my servants to treat treat each other in the best possible manner. So God is telling us that we got to take the best steps towards resolution. This is what God is telling us with everybody. Because guess what? If you look at where we are, we deal with different races of people, right? Different insights of people. People all on different levels. Some know, some don't know, some don't want to know, and so on and so forth. So being that we know and we have been awakened by our Creator, we know that when we encounter any situation, we do what God said. Tell my servants to treat each other in the best possible manner, so we can avoid all that stuff. And when our back is up against the wall, we still got to go there. Because that's the best solution for us. Instead of knocking somebody upside their head or causing harm, because there's consequences. So we want to take the best path. Right? God knows us. And sometimes you may not think about doing that because of your emotions, of how you feeling at that given time. And it's okay. But if you are aware that you got to do some soul work, if you are aware that you got to do some earth work, if you are aware that you got to do some inner mansion work on your mansion within you, then guess what? You're in a better place than the person who don't know that they got to do work on themselves. This is what I call, and this is what it's called, enlightenment from God. And as God enlighten you, right, we enlighten each other. Right? Can't keep it all to yourself. So you give some to those who you love and care about. And when you meet the ignorant, you say peace. Right? This is what God wants us to do. Now listen to this here. For the devil will always try to drive a wedge among them. So we know we got to be on guard, right? Because the devil, right? I'm talking about your inner devil. I ain't talking about that devil with the horns and pitchforks. I'm talking about your inner devil, my inner devil, right? When we don't want to, when we want to act out and let them know. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I've been through? Do you know where I come from? Right? Checking the inner devil. Surely the devil's man's most ardent enemy. You could be your own worst enemy if you're not careful. We busy pointing the fingers at everybody else being the enemy. Have you pointed the finger at yourself to see if you are your own enemy? We need to do that on a constant, because there's so much coming at us daily. So much coming at us. And sometimes you got to regroup. You got to go in the cave of Hira, like Prophet Muhammad did, and regroup. You got to go in the cave of Hira. Find your cave of Hira. And regroup. Refreshing yourself. And step back out and walk with your Lord. And try to do the best that you can do. That's it. We're not perfect. We're striving for perfection. It's that easy. It's that simple. God said He made this easy for us. When we get out of the shapes and all this other hierarchy and stuff like that, and we just deal with what God is saying to our souls and spirits, we'll be a lot more happier, and we'll have a better understanding of the Quran, ourselves, life, and everything else that goes on, that comes down the pipeline, seen and unseen. Because if you're tapping into a power that knows the seen and unseen, don't you think that power is going to give you some of that? Come on! Don't you think that power is going to give you some of the unseen and seen stuff too? So you can see some stuff that's unseen and feel some stuff that's unseen, right? And see some stuff that's unseen. Because the essence of the Creator is inside of you, inside of me, inside of us. So, in knowing that, you will see, and it goes like how God says, "O children of Adam, I have honored you." He has honored us. He has given us some special ingredients that make us individually special in our own right. And on that, let us start with repentance. Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. $17.54. Your Lord knows you best according to his knowledge. He may shower you with mercy, or he may requite you. We did not send you to be their advocate. Your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens and the earth in accordance with this knowledge. We preferred some prophets over others. For example, we gave David the Psalms, saying, "Implore whatever idols you have set up beside him. They have no power to relieve your afflictions, nor can they prevent them. Even the idols that they implore are seeking the ways and means towards their Lord. They pray for his mercy and fear his retribution. Surely the retribution of your Lord is dreadful. There is not a community that we will not annihilate before the day of resurrection, or inflict severe retribution upon them." This is already written down in the book. So this goes back that God lets us know what is happening and what's going to happen. So going back, we can't say when we are elevated back up to the high cosmic heavens, "Oh, I didn't know." If you read in this book and read in the previous scriptures, then you know. If you are seeing what's going on in this world, then you know. Right? But even deeper than that, before we all were sent down here, all the souls was raised up and asked, "Am I not your Lord?" Right? And we testified to that, right? So we cannot say, "I didn't know." We know. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Right? Everybody knows. And at one time we didn't know. Think about this. At one time we didn't know, right? Right? And God guided us so that we can be in the know. Think about that, right? And as we continue to get more knowledge, right, then we grow stronger, we become more at peace with it, more content, right? And we able to see stuff that we once no parts of. We can see it coming. It becomes more clear, the clarity. You can see exactly what you want to be a part of and what you don't want to be a part of in your life. And that's the power of the free will. Yes. Because some people got free wills, but guess what? They will ain't free. They're prisoners of the will. Yes. But it is only with knowledge from the Creator that we find freedom in the free will, and we find freedom in using our will. Think about that. Think about that. free will. It's a training ground. It's a training process. Every day you awaken, you're trained. You're being trained. You're being trained. So when the pain comes, because we're going to feel some pain, through the training, the pain will not overwhelm us. I'm talking about the death. I'm talking about the loss of wealth. I'm talking about through the children. I'm talking about through all those things that God makes mention in the Quran that we've been reading for so many years, right? We will know and understand God pre-warned me and God told me about this. So we're going to feel a little frazzled, but you know, the stronger our faith is, the stronger we will be able to deal with life as life happens. Because life is going to happen. It's been happening way before we was even in this earth. This is why I'm starting to realize more as I read the Quran. Everything in the book is just, and God tells us, examples, signs, behaviors, thinking, attitudes, spiritual concepts, spiritual inadequacies. All these different things is in this book. And when you look at this book, first you got to approach God and say, God, please open my heart so I can fully understand exactly what it is that you want me to understand. And then God will show you in the moment of your living life, in this very moment, how to deal with any situation. I don't care what it may be. I'm telling you, everything is in the book. We know God says He has not left anything out of the book. So the stronger we are in the book, the stronger we will be. God willing. Because we're going to be tested. And when the tests come, everything you've been reading in the book, it's tools. That's what this is. These are God-given tools from the Lord of the universe. So we can fix those things when they happen. That's what this is. God has given us the fixer. We can fix some things. We can straighten some things out and make sure those things never happen to us again. And also when some things happen, we can fix those things too. And then if we understand that I can't fix this one, that's when you know you got to go to God. This is what faith is all about. Because it's going to get bigger than you. Something's going to be bigger than us. So we go to God. This is what faith is about. God says keep doing certain things until what? You obtain certainty. Certainty means that you know what? They can't help me. That can't help me. I know where I can get my help from. And you plug into God. And you get that power. And you keep that power. And you maintain that power. And you keep building that power. Until you'll be like, man, check this out. You'll be in your house or somewhere, you'll be like, man, I'm so calm. I'm telling you, the Shekinah, the peace and reassurance of God will manifest in your life. Because you'll be a lot calmer than you used to be. This is a calming for your soul, a calming for your mind, a calming for your emotions. So you don't be out there anymore. I'm telling you, you will be put in a situation to where you will understand why people are doing what it is that they're doing, and you will get out the way. You will get out the way because it's out of your hand. You will get out the way. Because if you keep staying in the way, you're going to keep getting run over all over again. That's how deep this is. God says it's a healing for whatever ails you. It's a healing. Most people are stressed out. Stress is a big thing in the society that we live in today, right? 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 I feel right in this very moment with what we have, that we have been given a power. And we know this. I'm not telling y'all anything that y'all don't know. We have been given a power from our Lord that we're able to shake some things off. Get through them and walk through them and still stand strong and still smile and still bow down and prostrate and still meditate on our Lord and still be grateful and still be humble and still know that, you know what, after all this, I'm going back to my Creator and I'm going to be all right. Because God is making it right now while I'm in the earth. And God is teaching us and showing us how we can make it right while we're in the earth. So when we raise up, we'll be praising Him. That's the beauty of this. In winding down the sermon. 1755. Your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens. Listen to this here, people. Your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens, right? Right? Can we see those people that God is talking about in the heavens? Okay. Just think, because the Quran also wants you to ponder too. The Quran don't want you to be a blind follower. The Quran wants you to use the brain, because God says, I give you the ears and the eyes and the brain so that you can use them, right? Okay, so your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens. So what is that saying? There's something in the heavens. It could be some other life forms, right? Right? Think about it. Think. Right? Right? Your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens and the earth. Now we know what's going on in the earth. It's us, people, humans. But now let's think about this. Just think. Your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens. Now I'm not going to tell you what I feel it is, but you think about later what you think and feel what it is. Because God gave you a brain just like me. Okay? So I'm not going to get too deep into that. Because I can get deep into that, but I'm not. In accordance with this knowledge, we prefer some prophets. Okay, I read them. I'm reading it. I'm sorry. We prefer some prophets over others. For example, we gave David the Psalms. Say, implore whatever idols you have set up beside him. They have no power to relieve your afflictions, nor can they prevent them. So we know all this idolization of all this stuff we may have done, we came out of. Sometimes we still idolize stuff. We know that it can't help us. It won't help you because it's not God. It's not God. Okay? God is the creator. Man can create, but God is the creator. Okay, I want to wind it down, okay? Because the gift of just being alive is God has allowed us, all of us here, to taste this world so that we can understand that there's other worlds. Now, I'm going to bring it back home. Your Lord is the best knower of everyone in the heavens, right? Everyone, okay? It's not hard. Listen, look, it's not hard. I'm telling you, when you just sit still and meditate on your Lord, right? And go into your cave here, like I was saying earlier. You may have to isolate yourself. You know, take a little break. And you and God. And God gonna give you some stuff. And your stuff is specifically your stuff from God. Pertaining to your stuff. And your stuff is specifically your stuff pertaining to your stuff. So we all got some stuff. And God got some stuff. And He gonna give you some stuff to help you understand your stuff. So that way your stuff don't be so rough. Think about that. Because our stuff can be rough. Right? Even the idols, I'm 1757, even the idols that they implore are seeking ways and means toward their Lord. They pray for his mercy and fear his retribution. Surely the retribution of your Lord is dreadful. There is not a community that we will not annihilate before the day of resurrection or inflict severe retribution upon them. This is already written down in the book. What stopped us from seeing the miracles is that the previous generations have rejected them. For example, we showed Narmut the camel a profound miracle, but they transgressed it against it. We sent the miracles only to instill reverence. We inform you that your Lord, fully controls the people, and we render the vision that we showed you a test for the people. And the tree, that is accursed in the Quran. We showed them solid proofs to instill reverence in them, but this only argument their defiance. So when you encounter folks like that, don't waste your time with them. Don't waste your time with them. Focus on you. When we said to the angels, fall prostrate before Adam, they fell prostrate except Satan. He said, shall I prostrate to one you created from mud? He said, since you have honored him over me. See, God honored us over Satan. And Satan became jealous. Racism. Hello? Racism? Since you have honored him over me, if you respite me till the day of resurrection, I will possess all his descendants except a few. That's deep. That's so deep. So, it's not going to be the majority that's going to change the world. It's going to be just the strong, mighty, fearless, die-hard few. That is going to change the world. Because God tells us that what the majority is astray, right? So we can't think about numbers. You can't. The numbers don't mean nothing. Don't mean anything. They're going to be small groups and bands of people banding together, planning together, loving God together, praising God together, worshiping God together, and sticking together against all odds. That's going to bring about a change in the world. We may not see it, but we're seeing bits and pieces of it, and we're getting information that is going to happen from the book and from the other previous scriptures also. Okay? In ending, he said, then go. You and those who follow you will end up in hell as your requital, an equitable requital. You may entice them with your voice. So that's how the shaitan will do, with the voice, whispers. And mobilize all your forces and all your men against them. Don't we see shaitan with the armies and with all the guns and weaponry and all that stuff, right? Dropping bombs here, dropping bombs there, so on and so forth. Shaitan is deeper than what we've been taught who shaitan really is. Shaitan is walking around in human flesh. You can be shaitan if you're not careful. I can be shaitan if I'm not careful. You may entice them with your voice and mobilize all your forces and all your men against them and share in their money and children and promise them anything. The devil promises no more than an illusion. As for my servants, you have no power over them. Your Lord suffices as an advocate. Your Lord is the one who causes the ships to float on the ocean that you may seek his bounties. He is most merciful towards you. If you are afflicted in the middle of the sea, you forget your idols and sincerely implore him alone. But as soon as he saves you to the shore, you revert. So we got to stop reverting to myself. Indeed, the human being is unappreciative. So inshallah, I pray that we all get what it is that God wants us to get. Every Juma, no matter who's up there, and even in the discussions, because this is it. This is it. This is it. So, being that we know that this is it, let's just try to be happy, man. Let's just be happy while we're here. Rejoicing and praising our Creator. You know? And thanking Him for the benefits, the water. You know? The dwellings that we have over our head. The small things that we got that sometimes we take for granted. We breathing right now. You know? We going through some things, but at least, we still a little mobile. We can still get around to a degree, so we blessed. And each day, as we strive, say, I am elevating myself. I am elevating myself. I am elevating myself. Tell yourself that. I am elevating myself. I am elevating myself. On that, let us pray.